The sensitivities are so high today that I think that there's deep concern about not holding very closely everything significant with regard to China, and to focus on, as part of our major strategy, to work with our allies and partners and simply work with the good guys, right? And to be able to build up capacities and to deepen relationships and to be able to create an environment which demonstrates, in fact, that there are a number of partners that would be unwilling to allow violence or intimidation to rule the day anywhere, but particularly in a sensitive area with the economic engine of the 21st century there in Asia. The problem is that there's so much that our society is unaware of with regard to China, and there are many allies and partners who are unaware of many of the Chinese activities. So if you have overly tight controls in the information domain, right, which is key. So your insights that you learn may feed into, I want to adjust my ability to go test and probe over here. Those are tactical and operational elements. The strategic game is to use your information power, right, to be able to highlight what your adversary is doing, which violates international norms, right, or would exact reputational damage on them such that it shapes them to say the costs for doing this again and again are higher, right, than thinking about some other means, some other method. And today, if you look at the information domain, we are underutilizing this instrument of national power because of our tight controls and our inability to delegate and trust that there are a number of agencies and departments that, in fact, would stay within the boundary lines, the left and right guidance lines that would be issued from seniors, and to be able to then do the job of rapid exposure of malign actions in the irregular warfare zones, which all of our friends care about. Our sensing systems are not perfect either, which means that we have to be able to get more eyes and ears forward than we do. We have invested in too many big platforms that are slow lumbering and they can't get to the right places. We need more persistent stare, which requires more numerous ways of sensing that we can do so with our partners, and a sharing regime, which then allows us to know exactly what the next move has been, and if necessary, taking the video clip or the photo showing the Chinese water hosing a Philippine ship or a military lasing Australian aircraft or dumping chaff into the jet engines of a P-8 from Australia. Those are the things that the information environment should be exposing so that Beijing has to own them, right? Because ultimately you want to condition that country to be a true responsible stakeholder, right? And you want people to understand what their intent and their activities truly are, not just what they're saying from their podium.
Right. So just to follow up on that, so the idea of using this sort of exposure, naming and shaming, I guess, for lack of a better term, but is that going to be sufficient to cause China to back down on its more aggressive actions and the potential for it being attacking its neighbors?
I think using that instrument is better than not using that instrument in terms of providing a convincing case and evidence of what China's behavior looks like, right? And so will China stop? Probably in some areas not. If the strategic objective is to continue to intimidate Taiwan, they'll probably pay that price. But the rest of the world is watching.